Hey, welcome back to What Elon Said. Today is Thursday, April 28th, 2022. And man, there's a lot going on today.
There's
there's
a lot that Elon has said to
there is a
cover.
lot that Elon has said. So we have just, today is going to be a Twitter packed show. He is saying a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump right into it today. No chit chat, just getting right here. So I don't know if you can reduce the size here a little,
Yeah,
Kevin.
definitely.
Um, starting off, Truth Social, is Donald Trump's social network that's out there, and that was supposed to be the counter to Twitter until Elon took over this. And Elon said Truth Social is currently beating Twitter and TikTok on the Apple Store, so you can see it's number one. I
Mhm.
think we reviewed this quickly yesterday.
Yeah, this was from
That
yesterday at some point earlier in the day.
Yeah, so he had another response. So he someone said, I don't know who the Cleon, do you know who that is? I'm not sure, but
Nah,
nothing
just
runs,
someone.
yeah, nothing.
Nothing sus about this app. It's
Oh yeah, I
obviously
couldn't
here
see
to
that.
tell us the truth, which is like I love this. It's like it's just a total knock on this new app and this new network where yesterday was kind of left open to interpretation. Like what I mean, it still is, but what's Elon trying to do here? Why is he stirring the pot? I'm sure a lot of the left is disturbed with this purchase of Twitter because of its history with Trump and that administration and all of the right, right.
Well, it's
So
a divisive issue. Yes.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But I thought yesterday maybe he was almost like saying, well, we shouldn't let Truth Social win out because, that we don't want that to be a better platform or whatever. And here he's just laughing hysterically about like we all see what that network is, what it's gonna be. Like, I mean, come on.
Not that. That's like the Fox News. Their motto is you know not no fake news, but like only the true news is their motto, and there's really no news.
Yeah. So just for him to get a kick out of someone saying, "Yeah, Truth Social, obviously here to tell the truth, no bias or anything there," was
Yeah.
interesting. So I don't know.
Oh, I
I
think
mean,
it's fair and balanced news. I think.
I took the laughing as like, yeah, totally, in agreement. But maybe that emojis are always left for interpretation. But he went on
Yeah,
to say more about Truth Social and said it's got a terrible name and exists because Twitter censored free speech, and it should be called
that's right.
Trumpet instead. So yeah, it took a minute for that to settle in there.
Yeah.
But then it was all made clear a little bit later in the day, where Sir Doge of Coin posts an altered image of that top five list with Trumpet with a literal trumpet and Trump's hairdo on top of it,
It's so awesome.
and Elon saying, it's legit a way better name. Come on.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
the so maybe they'll rename it. After that, who knows? But it is a better name,
who
and the
knows?
logo is
Um,
fantastic. That
but
logo will last forever, I think. Now,
we are definitely in
someone.
this territory of Elon ruffling feathers on both sides of the aisle, and just people are like spinning, trying to keep up with this enigma here. And not to
Yes,
mention, like, it's all sprinkled with an element of humor in it all. Like, he's just, um, like, toying with all of us.
he's just having fun with it in
Yeah.
between meetings.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I wonder if there's an app up there now called Trumpet. I haven't looked today with that logo now.
I don't know. But here he brought back this image from yesterday. This was the circular argument, I guess, of the left wing bias of Twitter, which I'm sure got a lot of rage. I didn't read under the comments, but he went ahead and
Oh yeah, I'm
hooked this
sure there
one
was a
right
lot of
out, made it his own.
pros and cons. He's pushing both sides. So he's I guess he's just having fun with it. So it's kind of wild to just get the
Yeah,
reaction. I mean, obviously everyone's talking about it, so I guess he wants the conversation to happen.
yeah. I mean, I do wonder that sometimes, like, how much is he just trying to capture the narrative of the moment, or capture the spotlight of the moment. Um, I don't know. Maybe there's some argument to him wanting attention, and a lot of his detractors really hate that about him and claim that, that oh, he's just a child who wants attention and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
he lives up to it sometimes, but
yeah,
tongue in cheek, though, I think he's self-aware, I should say. A lot of the people who do this are not self-aware that they need attention. He knows what he's doing.
yeah.
Um, so this one I didn't really get to dig into. I don't know if you could take this one.
Well, this was Tim Pool responding. They're saying that, yo, Elon Musk, come on my show, bring Starlink. And Niche Gamer, who
Uh,
is an account that Elon has responded to pretty often, put this funny image of a seal saying, seal of approval, indeed. And CYB, which I don't know, maybe means crazy white boy in
I
Urban
don't know.
Dictionary. I'm not sure. But
We're so out of it.
yeah, it's hard to keep up with all these personalities. Tim Pool tried to do a little bit of research. He was kind of got his start in the limelight with his coverage of the Occupy Wall Street movement, which he was involved with, documenting firsthand. Then he went on to work for Vice, some other news agencies, and now he started his own kind of commentary platform, I'd say,
Hmm,
or a media company almost.
that's the trend.
But you know, he's very claims he's a disfranchised liberal who is more right leaning now. If you look at any of his posts,
Yeah.
so definitely a, feather rustler, ruffler.
Yeah. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah. So here
Um,
we also have Dave Rubin of Rubin Report saying, hey, Elon, as long as you're digging, check into how New York Times and Forbes brought their Twitter followers to fake influence. New York Times has 53 million followers, quotation marks, and rarely gets 50 retweets. I could post a banana emoji and a pic from the 80s sitcom star and get more. See the next tweet. And boom, just went ahead and did it. Emoji banana, picture from the Golden Girls, and there you go. That was, I think, as of this morning, 9,651 retweets.
yeah. Although I was wondering if most of those retweets and all that was because Elon Musk
Yeah, I
commented and
mean,
people saw
maybe, but
it. But yes, he had a good point that a lot of that is a little fishy if that is true. That the New York Times is not getting many retweets about what they're posting. That's interesting. So these are all like things that it all seems like Elon is going to clean ship. He's bringing the exterminator in.
yeah,
He's getting the restaurant will have the sanitary code of approval after he comes into town.
mm.
He's like Gordon Ramsay of Twitter, bringing a lot of analogies here.
Yeah. I'm like picturing the image of just someone coming into a forest and just like knocking over rocks, looking underneath, bringing the spotlight in, and just
Yeah,
shining light on everything that's going on. And it's certainly disrupting like everyone almost, and some people love it and some people really hate it. Obviously,
that's right.
the institutions themselves are not too fond of this happening because they feel threatened, I think. Um,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's ongoing. But here, Everyday Astronaut was also adding to the commentary saying, yeah, I have way more new followers in the last couple days than I historically had, but which is kind of annoying. And Elon commenting here saying, almost every media outlet on earth wrote about me acquiring Twitter, causing a massive influx of new users. So I guess new users to Twitter, probably a lot of new followers of Elon. I mean, he's up to like 87 million now, I think.
Yeah, and then I'm sure people went on to YouTube, looked up the video, found out who's this everyday astronaut guy, and
Yeah.
it all just was like any people he's interviewed with or touched, they probably got a lot of boost of followers as well as people are discovering them.
Yeah, which I think to some extent is probably a good thing. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
as long as they're not going on there and trying to disrupt and rage against these people for having ever engaged with Elon.
No, and it's
Hey,
good.
if it
People are
can
exposed.
Yeah, if it can enlighten certain people to follows that may be in line with their interests, and they might be interested in, then that's great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a good thing.
Uh,
They learn more about Elon. Like, some
yeah,
people will just turn it off, but I think a lot more people are investigating and really seeing what he has to say, which is a good thing.
yeah.
This is my favorite.
In line with that, I started watching. I'd never watched the full like 3 hour third row podcast with Elon. Where they sat down in his home with him. Um,
I never saw that.
yeah, I mean, it's fascinating, and I just think for anyone out there on Twitter or elsewhere just like hating on this guy, they should watch that first. You know,
Hmm.
it's not all fluff. It's not vague answers. It's not all you know. Uh, whatever words. He's like got insightful responses to questions, and he's very down to earth, and I don't know, it is consistent in every interview for the most part.
Yeah, I definitely have to watch it. I mean, he's had other good interviews, but that sounds good. But it gives a good light onto how his thinking works, which is
Yeah, exactly.
something to consider when you see what he might do with the company. He's not just a wild man.
hmm Rhetoric was
um,
the word, Mark.
yes.
That's what I was looking
Oh,
for. It's
yes.
not all rhetoric.
Not all rhetoric. He this and then on his funny side, his self-aware side of making fun of himself liked this like this little note meme, I should say,
Yeah,
of how beautiful it is to find someone who asks for nothing but your company, which is would normally be a nice thing to show hands together. And below it's just, give me your money, give me your company, and he shows a big money bag, and the guy goes, okay.
yeah,
So it's pretty funny.
yeah. I mean, I thought this was like pretty much a criticism of what he just did, and here he is, kind of laughing at
Yes. Yeah.
it. So here we have someone saying, if Elon's criticizing a Twitter executive for a decision Twitter itself admits was bad counts as targeted harassment, then isn't Washington Post itself engaged in targeted harassment of Sagar and Elon, which is who Elon engaged with yesterday about the
It,
Twitter executive who,
yeah. This is where it starts to go off the rails for me.
yeah,
Uh, because I mean, Robbie Suave is he's at Reason Magazine, and he's a very good reporter, which is libertarian magazine.
yeah,
But this is really something that he usually stays away from. And then Elon is responding to it also, that you're defending, you're both defending Elon being a bully by saying someone else was a bully. That's not the right answer, in my opinion. The answer
it's
is
not a good
to stay
argument.
above that. Not a good argument. Like, this is definitely the Elon flaw, that an argument against bullying is you're being a bully, is not that someone else bullied.
Mm.
The answer is not just don't bully. And that's what he's been doing lately. And he's
Uh,
not building his case very well by doing that, I feel.
yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess to some extent he's trying to defend himself, but you're right. I mean, two wrongs don't make a right, you know?
Yeah. I mean, someone's always going to target him, especially that's what newspapers do. They target people. They call things out, but you
Yeah,
can't go down to their level. So that's enough said about that, I think.
I think so. I mean, it's hard to get away from any of this. We started this channel with really a desire to focus on um, his leading the way with the transition to sustainable energy and in space exploration and the things he's doing with his other companies. Didn't really expect to get all roped up into this, which is a lot of challenging political thought and commentary, I'd say. Not really our
Mhm.
wheelhouse. But hey, we're here to document what he says and how he's influencing and impacting the world. So I don't know that any of this will go away for quite a while, if ever. So I think it's important to keep it as part of the discussion.
I hear you.
Yeah. So a couple of supporters here, just that he liked, and then we have him just posting that for Twitter to deserve public trust, it must be politically neutral. Effectively means upsetting the far right and the far left equally. And
And I I mean, I don't know what you think about that. I know we're trying to go through a lot. There was a lot here,
Yeah.
but when he said this, I thought he's been saying neutral lately, which I totally believe with, and I believe that's his intentions. But it seems like his actual actions, like they always say, watch what they say, not what they do, not what they say. And what he's doing is participating in aggravating the edges, which he talks about, not the middle neutral part. So I don't know. It seems like he's talking about, I feel like I'm bashing Elon today, but it is very contradictory. He's talking out of both sides of his mouth in a way, but we'll see what he does. He might settle
Well,
down.
I think that he's not saying that we should not participate in political discussions on Twitter. I think what he's saying is that the company and the software itself, or the program itself, should not be biased towards one or the other, and let the discussions, the robust political discussions, whether they be far left or right or middle, happen, but don't let the company itself control which ones get more attention than others.
Yeah,
That's my take on it. Dick
that makes sense.
Costello has
Makes
another
sense.
take, saying bullying is not leadership. Dick Costello is used to be the CEO of Twitter.
Oh, I don't know. I can't
Yeah,
believe I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah. I mean, you
Uh-huh.
gotta keep up with all these personalities on Twitter. I mean,
Yeah.
geez Louise, it's like need
How dare
Wikipedia in
I?
my back pocket.
That's
But
right.
yeah, he's quite an influencer over the past probably a couple
Mm-hmm.
decades in Silicon Valley. He's played a part in the Silicon Valley show. But
Mm-hmm.
he just tweeted. He didn't even. This wasn't even a response to Elon, but I think Elon took it as that, saying bullying is
Mm-hmm.
not leadership. And Elon responds saying, "What are you talking about? I'm just saying Twitter needs to be politically neutral."
I think
Uh,
this goes back to what we just talked about.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
That he,
God, I'd say that there's not too many that don't have um, an issue in one way or another. Not There's not too many personalities in the like legacy tech group that doesn't have an issue with this, or media group.
yes, yes. Um, here we have Ben Shapiro, who's has a very big audience, big voice, and is very controversial. Um, but so Elon's responding to him. He's jumping right into everyone who's controversial responding to them this week. It's funny. Um, Elon Musk, he's writing to him. Twitter should be politically neutral. Then Washington Post and every left wing blue check mark that Elon said that, and they're going crazy. You guys are giving away your game, and which is true in many ways. And then Elon keeps going on. The attacks are coming thick and fast, primarily from the left, which is a surprise. However, I should make it clear that the right will probably be a little unhappy too. My goal is to maximize area. He always talks about it as if it's like another rocket they're building. My goal is to maximize area under the curve of total human happiness, which means the 80% of people in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I think it. If nothing else, this is providing some insight into how Elon's brain works, and how he
Mm-hmm.
sees the world. So, I really believe that he did not buy Twitter to for any political purposes whatsoever. Like, I really think that his mindset is like almost the viewpoint of an alien looking down on the world and humanity from up above, and like thinking, how can we, what makes sense scientifically, and how can we maximize the happiness and not lifespan, but lifespan of humanity, basically, not individual lifespan, but um,
Yeah, I definitely think he looks at it that way. I just think PR wise, I think he's slipping up that he's not. He's doing everything he can to give the perception or make people uncomfortable that this is going to be a disaster. But I think in the end, he will look at it the way you're saying, but it looks like he is buying Twitter so he can be unmasked in a way. There's no
uncontrolled.
block, uncontrolled, untethered,
Yeah.
and he can do whatever the hell he wants with a huge audience and sway.
Yeah.
That's how it looks. But you and I know from many hours of interviews and reading his tweets, of course, that he will probably do and think otherwise.
Yeah. I think that's spot on. If you're coming at this new to not knowing Elon and his history and trying to dissect how his brain works and how he looks at the world, then you're just going to think of it as here's another billionaire who's saying he wants free speech, but what he really wants to do is just buy his ability to control free speech.
That's right. His free speech.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on.
Yeah. Well, not quite. So a couple more. We have Kyle Mann, who is the head of Babylon B. Our video mocking Twitter employees for being too sensitive was flagged by Twitter for sensitive content. Like, surprise. And Elon got a kick out of that. And then
yes,
we also have, lastly here, David Sachs. You probably know him. You probably speak more to him. Do you? I don't know. Maybe.
David Sachs. Why am I forgetting who he is? He's a I know his name and I'm forgetting who or what he is. I think he is thinking that he's a doctor, but he's
founding PayPal COO David Sachs.
Oh, PayPal,
right
okay.
there on the screen for us. Okay.
You know what? I'm way off my game. There's two people I should know and I didn't, but David Sachs, of course, yes. And I think he's on that same podcast you talked about before with the four people. So
So is he one of the founders, like that group or the book?
I guess I didn't. The PayPal Mafia.
PayPal Mafia, yeah. So anyway, he says he sat down with Will Cain of Fox News for about 40 minutes to discuss Elon's takeover of Twitter and what it means for free speech and censorship. Thanks to Will for a great conversation. Check it out. And Elon apparently listened to it and said, accurate interview. I was actually in the middle of it before we jumped on here. And it's, I don't know, it's pretty down to earth. And I think he's had experience and knows Elon pretty well, knows the way he operates. And yeah, he had some really interesting opinions about all of this and how it's going to go.
I'll have to check it out. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. Yeah, but it sounds good.
Minutes.
Wow. Here is the
now we get
tweet
into some
of
fun.
the day. This has been talked about on the radio, several radio stations this morning when I was trying to drop off at school. Everyone was talking about this. So this was the one that stood out. It was Elon said, "Next, I'm buying Coca-Cola to put the cocaine back in." It's just the funniest thing ever. So he's having fun with himself.
Yeah,
it's good.
And here, it looks
and,
like
and
you pointed
then immediately,
out 8 minutes.
Yeah,
you had 18,000 comments.
18,000 comments 8 minutes after he posted it.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what it's up to now, but I just thought that was so funny that like was posted. 18,000 people, probably like a million jokes they said in there, and then 100,000 people liked it in 8 minutes. That's power.
That's some power of the eyes right there. I'd say it's like more powerful than the Super Bowl, like advertising the Super Bowl or something. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
But Pranay Patel says this is the first publicly sold bottle of Coca-Cola in 1894, which contained 3.5 grams of cocaine. Bring it back. And Elon said, kicks Red Bull's ass. Just craziness, man. We're getting into. I think at some point he says like, let's make Twitter maximum fun. So he had some serious late night fun on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
yesterday
he's going crazy.
And here we have Shibatoshi Nakamoti. Can you buy Fox? I want another season of Firefly. And Elon saying some sci-fi that actually features sci-fi would be great. Someone else said we need more Battlestar Galactica. Great show.
Yeah, I was just like interacting with people who said it's just very funny. Here he said, now we got through it all. He's actually giving an idea after all this time. Twitter DMs should have end-to-end encryption like Signal, so no one can spy on your hack your messages, which is a great idea. So, but it's just how he's just throwing out ideas like little tactics. It's interesting.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely. You got to find this stuff sprinkled into all the fun.
Yeah. So a lot of response to that, of course. So, and then here's the quote you said: "Let's make Twitter maximum fun."
Yeah, and he sure gets into it.
Oh yeah. Right now, people are making up
Someone made a
things.
fake tweet from Elon saying,
Yeah.
"Now I'm gonna buy McDonald's and fix all the ice cream machines." And he just said, "Listen, I can't do miracles, okay?" And also said, "Now that I bought Twitter, I'm deleting it. Facebook, Instagram is next. Go outside and enjoy your life, people." Um,
Funny.
yeah, this one I thought was interesting. Kara Swisher, who's interviewed him a couple times on TED Talks. Um,
Yes, and I think she's a New York Times reporter.
yeah. Um, I think actually that she's been somewhat critical of this whole Twitter purchase as of recent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I don't have any like articles or interviews or anything to back that up, but just from a couple tweets I saw um, about a spaces that she had where it seemed pretty one sided against this idea. But
Mm-hmm.
she has some great comments here. I mean, I thought that this was just a great quote from her about Elon. And basically, we'll just sum it up with the times we live in are so reductive that it's really hard to be able to get our minds around a truly complex human being. And that's what he is. So I
Yeah.
think it plays into what we've spoken about the last couple days where he's his own being and he's almost like an artist in a way.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it more. I think what I love about him is that he combines um, it's like an intersection of philosophy, science, and art. You know, that seems to be like how his mind works, where he thinks deeply about things, then he like goes to science to actually execute what he wants to change, you know, or do in the world, and then adds like an element of art to it.
Yeah, I hear you. That's definitely what he is. It's the artist, and I think that Kara Swisher recognizes it. Whether she agrees or disagrees all the time, she feels that he is the complete package. So, which is a good thing. It's not just some careless, reckless person who's in there.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a few just other tweets here that Elon liked. We'll just run through these quickly, but this cool shot of a meteor over Mount Fuji.
Nice.
Yeah. Think about this. He actually responded to this.
Yeah. Someone didn't say what it was. He's like, "It's the Vegas boring tunnel, buddy."
Yeah.
But it was good. It does look cool.
Yeah, very
The
cool.
boring tunnels will not look like that, by the way.
All futuristic and like
Yes.
neon. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
This one was a little weird to respond. I couldn't actually view the article. This was paywalled, but it says Jim Carrey responds to bizarre claim he is one of many actors playing Joe Biden. But he did play him on Saturday Night Live, so
Yeah.
that sort of is true. But I'm thinking that someone thought that there is no Joe Biden, that people are just acting him.
Yeah. That's a
life.
conspiracy theory dating back to like pre-election that
Oh, is it?
he's not
Okay.
actually real. You know, look at his ears or something like that. It's like, dude,
is it
it's crazy.
animatronic or something?
But I don't know. Elon liked this, and I guess like the shooting star thing. I don't know if that represents like, man, the world is crazy, or if he just thinks Jim Carrey. He's showing his support for Jim Carrey.
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's very funny.
all right, Mark. Let's get into some real science here,
Yes.
please. Gosh, it's exhausting
Like,
all this Twitter stuff. Let's get back to business.
let's just be tweeting this all day.
Yes.
Yes. So second SpaceX docking with the space station, International Space Station, within a month or 2 weeks, I think, which is amazing. This one is delivering a new crew for NASA and other space agencies.
Yep.
So another sign we're not relying on Russia, which is good, and also that the space program is alive and well. In fact, so alive that we need 20 more space stations, because for the first time we have more ships than we know what to do with, which is good. We always had could launch one ship every 4 months at several $1 billion each.
Create another one, send it up,
Yes.
let it crash into the ocean. But now it's just once a week. Let's go. Now we need more stuff up there.
Yeah.
But a couple cool
This thing
shots.
looks like
Cool shots of
Yeah,
like the
that
docking.
shot looked like I thought it was like Space Close Encounters with all the lights.
Totally 2001 there.
And here they're being greeted
Yeah.
coming onto the ship, which is fantastic,
Yeah.
and everyone's happy.
Um, doesn't look like a whole lot of space. To your point, like we got too many humans in this thing already, so
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go.
that's right.
We
That's
need
like
another
my worst nightmare. That's like an elevator where you're stuck with a whole bunch of people for several months.
exact stuck in the outer atmosphere or the
Yes.
outer orbit. Um, and just another cool shot here from Eric Kuna. Always amazing to see the beauty of these launches from SpaceX. 4 humans flying at supersonic speed to the International Space Station in a Dragon while being propelled in the upper atmosphere by a Falcon. It's cool.
Yeah. At first, I thought that was a a nature picture of a jellyfish.
Oh yeah, you're right. It does look like it. I don't know what the purple tinting's about. It's pretty
I
cool.
don't know.
All right, a few other things. That was it for SpaceX. So that's the end of science. Let's get back into the madness. Did you see this
Yeah.
one? This was Mark Andreessen saying, "Uh-oh." And this, I guess, is coming from the White House or the U.S. government
Yeah.
somewhere. Launch of the Declaration for the Future of the Internet. And
Yeah.
Elon's like, "That sounds like satire." I mean, what year
it
are
does sound
we in
like
here?
it does sound like satire.
I mean,
But I
it's
think they're
just
trying to investigate that what is it? Or rule 240, section 240
yeah,
that
230,
is
I think, right?
allows 230
Yeah,
where social media agencies or anyone on the internet is not responsible for the people's posts on your own platform.
yeah,
So now it's being reinvestigated, which can have drastic impact on Twitter and any other space. Like really, all conversation on the internet would die if
yeah.
that was reversed. That caused the internet to happen.
I just think Elon's commenting on the fact that it's like the future is the internet, so we're gonna address it now. And he's
Yes.
like, dude, where you been for the last like three
Yeah, I
decades?
know.
What are you
Very
doing?
funny.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, he
The
started. He says that in 1995 or something when he founded Zip2 that he saw that the future was the internet.
yeah,
It's like
that's right.
wild. But we have an article,
25
a
years.
thing here. BBC saying climate change. Don't let doom win. Project tells Warriors. I think he's like honestly supported this, but he's like, look, man, I'm experiencing Doom right now. This is me. I think this like he just thought this was him in the Doom cover
That's
here,
it.
this classic video game from the 90s, I think. But like it's just it's so fitting as to what's going on right now. He's just like blasting
The
demons.
hordes are coming after him. I know.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
He just pulls it up. It's pretty good
Pretty
on the
good.
fly.
Um
I wonder if people think while they're in meetings with him if he's paying attention or he's just like on his phone tweeting while they're talking to him.
I think it depends on physical or like visual cues.
Yes. I've not seen this one, so if you
Yeah,
could
just
take this.
in this morning, Watcher Guru says the FCC, FTC, and DOJ were asked to block Elon Musk's deal to acquire Twitter after claiming the transaction poses a quote direct threat to American democracy and free speech. See, we've heard that a lot in the last like week. The commissioner
Yeah.
responded and said they had no authority to block the purchase. And Elon just said, FCC for the win. So supporting this, that would be, I guess,
Wait.
unconstitutional.
Who asked to block it?
We have it's what is this? It's it was right in here. Um, Open Markets Institute issued a release.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So I don't know. There's no immediate blocking of the purchase.
Pretty good.
Some other fun stuff here.
Less blocking.
Toilet Man is the world's
This is
worst
funny one.
superhero. We're
Yes.
digressing here. Pikachu ice cream, good stuff. Like these.
Oh yes. I always have to have that.
Got to throw in a Massimo tweet here
Oh yeah.
about the human eye, which to me is just fascinating.
It is.
And a shot of Starbase, the starship.
Always good to have
Always
that
good.
little tranquility there.
And
Yeah.
okay, well those were fun enough, but let's Well, okay, that I added the most recent one further up in line, so that's the last one. So we'll leave it at
Oh,
that.
good. Nice way to end.
Yeah.
Nice view
So
of the morning.
yeah, that's a lot. I know there's no avoiding the Twitter talk these days, and we'll probably be in
Yes.
that quagmire for a little while now. But good to
Yes.
see some
More.
launches and dockings happening and all that good stuff.
I think today was the first day ever, unless you count the car in the um, boring tunnel tube, that there was not one article on Tesla.
Yeah, I know it's wild.
It's wild.
It's like all
Oh,
consuming.
yes.
Twitter and fun yesterday, but I think he tends to transition between topics, so we'll probably see
That's right.
a lot of Tesla news today.
Hopefully
We'll
good
see
ones.
where the world of Elon takes us.
Yeah, we'll see then. We'll be back for more excitement tomorrow.
Yep. See you then.